And Dick was chasing everything that moved in Scottsdale.
This pea-brain billionaire is Phoenix Suns owner Robert Sarver.
The allegations are of hostile work environment with racism, misogynistic comments.
Sexist.
Yeah.
Someone said he left his DNA. He did leave his DNA in Steve Nash's socks somewhere in the locker room.
While the NBA has cited an ongoing investigation,
bombshell expose, ESPN cites more than 70 former and current employees of the NBA franchise, the Phoenix Suns, detailing how Robert Sarver, the team's majority owner, fosters a problematic workplace with claims of racism, misogyny, retaliation, and more.
It appears these very serious allegations.
If the commissioner comes in and investigates to see what the expletive is going on in Phoenix, he would be appalled.
May have been put on the back burner, at least publicly. Thus, the Reverend Al Sharpton has decided it is all hands on deck time.
You merging on a SPAC or are you lining up a hooker over there? What are you doing?
The environment within the Phoenix Suns was troublesome, according to Baxter Holmes' investigative piece. Sharpton, a fighter for civil rights and social justice for decades, has officially joined the fight to bring Sarver's problematic ways back to center. The owner of the Suns was revealed in the ESPN story last November how Sarver, the principal owner of the Suns, made all these racist and misogynistic statements, and the NBA said they were going to investigate it. Sharpton said at the New York City headquarters for the National Action Network, a civil rights organization he founded in '91. Well, how long does it take for an investigation when you have videos and people that come forward? I put the call in Friday to the NBA that we want them to close the investigation and remove Sarver or tell us the timetable by the convention.
There was a section about a player who was shaving his legs, and that prompted Robert to unprovoked talk about him shaving his testicle area, his scrotum. And, I was there for that. I witnessed that conversation happening.
Some of the following allegations go as follows, per Baxter Holmes at the Worldwide Leader. One Suns co-owner, said of Sarver, the level of misogyny and racism is beyond the pale. It's embarrassing as an owner. One former staffer, who is a woman, told ESPN, women have very little value. Women are possessions, and I think we're nowhere close to where he thinks men are. In ex-marketing, female employees at Sarver would frequently use language such as, "Do I own you? Are you one of mine?" He makes you feel like you belong to him, the employee said. Sarver is accused of using the N-word, what Business Insider calls, numerous times. According to the report, Sarver pulled the typical white racist talking point of, well, black people say the N-word, why can't I? Former head coach Earl Watson spoke on it with ESPN. A former Suns executive also told ESPN that in 2013, Sarver vouched for hiring Lindsey Hunter, who was black, as a head coach by saying these N-words need a N-word. Sarver has denied these allegations.
The problem is, it's a lot of he said, she said.
Sharpton went on, we are not going to allow people to affect the culture of the NFL or the NBA and insult us and act like that's acceptable behavior. They think because it was November, everybody forgets about it, and that's why we wanted to put the pressure on. So we are on the Phoenix Suns. NBA spokesman Mike Bass told ESPN on Saturday the investigation is ongoing and will take the time necessary to complete a thorough and comprehensive review of the matter. Months ago, a lawsuit was filed against Jones claiming he had a secret daughter. Alexandra Davis brought the suit, then subsequently dropped it. Local Dallas station WFAA reported Jones paid nearly $3 million to her. Unfortunately for Jones, there could be more trouble on the horizon. Here are the details. A civil plaintiff is gearing up for an upcoming appeal and continuing to fight Cowboys owner Jerry Jones in court after accusing him of essaying her in a case that has largely slipped under the radar. The woman chose to file under a pseudonym to reportedly minimize the risk of attracting media attention, according to her attorney. The timing of this, though, if you have been following the NFL/billionaire ownership class, It may not surprise you. Cradling a drink in one hand, he tells members of his inner circle about the dirt he has accumulated on fellow owners, coaches, executives, even his own employees, all the stuff he's learned from other sources, including private investigative firms.
ESPN has learned Snyder has told associates he's used private investigators and other sources to gather enough secrets to blow up several NFL owners and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell.
He never says exactly what he knows, only that in his 23 years as owner of the Commanders, he knows a lot. And that in the zero-sum world of billionaires, this is how you survive, wrote Seth Wickersham, Don Van Natta, and Tisha Thompson. They can't F with me, he has said privately. Sources say the NFL is aware that Snyder has claimed to be tracking owners, but none of the owners or sources would reveal how they learned of Snyder's alleged effort to use private investigators. It's also unclear how many owners are said to have been targeted. Those sources say they believe it's at least 6. And guess who is one of them? That would be Cowboys owner Jerry Jones. One owner was told by Snyder directly that he has dirt on Jerry Jones, a team source told ESPN, though the nature of the information was unclear. Another source confirmed that Snyder has told a confidant that he has a file on Jones, the Cowboys owner who has served as Snyder's friend, mentor, and longtime firewall of support. That dirt may be coming to the surface. In the suit against Jones, Jane Doe accused him of forcibly kissing her on the mouth without her consent on or about September 16, 2018, in the Tom Landry room at AT&T Stadium. She also accused Jones of sticking his tongue in her mouth and forcibly grabbing and groping her. In court papers, Doe says the room was full of witnesses when the alleged assault happened, and that she believes the people in the room allegedly included former Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett, Ezekiel Elliott, Tyrone Crawford, Tyron Smith, and other prominent Cowboys players. In an alleged list of witnesses, Doe also named DeMarcus Lawrence and Eugenia Jones, Jerry Jones's wife. Doe claims the alleged incident caused her severe injuries, emotional distress, psychological pain and suffering, and medical expenses, among other allegations of damages. The complaint also claims that the plaintiff is continuing to see a doctor for treatment and experiences headaches, dizziness, extreme sadness, night sweats, panic attacks, nausea, depression, PTSD, crying spells, and other mental and physical problems as a result of the alleged incident. On information and belief, defendant Jones has a sleazy history of allegedly essaying and assaulting females, and it appears that both the Cowboys and NFL have turned a blind eye to said illegal behavior over the years, the complaint reads. Now, Jones's lawyers have denied the allegations. They have called them vague, and they have said they lack any factual support. Doe, who is represented by attorney Thomas Bowers III, also sued the NFL and the Cowboys, accusing the entities of allegedly failing to supervise and stop Jones, allegedly tampering with criminal evidence, and allegedly threatening victims and witnesses to deter criminal complaints, among other accusations. Meanwhile, in NFL ownership circles, Jerry Jones recently told confidants that he might not be able to protect Snyder any longer. Snyder has also badmouthed Jones, telling an owner recently, "He's only out to get in your pocket. He'll sell you down the river. You can't trust him," a senior executive close to the owner said. Snyder's already lost Jerry, the source added. The executive adds that team owners are willing to look the other way on Jones's own issues, including a Cowboys cheerleader voyeurism scandal involving a senior executive reported by ESPN earlier this year, and a lawsuit by a 25-year-old woman who says Jones is her father because his ingenuity and vision for growing the National Football League pie has made rich men richer.